I just thought Tyron did a beautiful job on starting the game and finishing the game with 2 interceptions, and that kind of led the way. That was great enthusiasm for the defense. I thought our defense, played a good game and really rallied towards the end of it in particular. And then Bucker, I thought was stand out with his 5 field goals there, so he did a nice job. And then offensively, again, Kelce and Pat and that connection there did a nice job. Tyreek had a couple touchdowns. I'll take blame for the one that I've never had a receiver that didn't know he caught the ball. So, I mean, he came off and said he didn't catch it, and I probably should have hung on to that just a little bit longer to look at the replay. But I've been doing this a couple of years. I've never had that situation, so it was a new experience for me. I'll try to do better. Try to do better the next time with it. But what a heck of a job by him. He had 2 touchdowns taken back and away from him. So, but my hat goes out to the Broncos. They came in and played a nice game. Vic had a great game plan for both sides of the ball and his special teams group, and he's great for this division, man. I mean, he's a heck of a football coach, and they just keep getting better and better. And that young quarterback of theirs, Locke, local kid, man, he keeps getting better. So it's great competition, and I'm glad we came out on top today. So we'll go back and get ourselves cleaned up with a couple things and get ready for the Dolphins. Anyways, with that, time yours.
Go first to Herbie Teope. Go ahead, Herbie.
Hey, Coach, you mentioned a touchdown that Tyreek Hill had that you didn't call or challenge. How soon do you rely on the folks upstairs to ping you and say, hey, that was a score for you to go ahead and challenge?
Yeah, they were on it right when they saw it, and that was right when we were punting the ball. So, I mean, it was a bang bang thing, and we didn't have time to really look at it before we kicked the ball. So we kicked it with about 10 seconds left, and normally that's kind of where you let it go down to, right in that area, and go with it. But I checked with with Tyreek. He came off. You can normally tell with a receiver if he knew he had it or not, and especially Tyreek. I mean, so he was as surprised as any of us that he ended up with the football.
Let's go next to Adam Teicher. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Andy. I know you have bigger goals here, but you did clinch a playoff spot tonight. I was just wondering whether you'll take a minute to appreciate that. And Brad, I'll have one quick follow-up.
Yeah, listen, I'm proud of the guys and the coaches. So I thought the coach had a good game plan. We finished it up when everything wasn't going right. So in years past, maybe you don't win that game. And I appreciate the intensity and the championship attitude that these guys showed today and demonstrated. So and the desire to win the game. And then listen, to win or to be in the playoffs, that's a great thing. And you're right, and we do have work to do here. So we didn't talk at all about it in the locker room about the playoffs. We just talked about getting ourselves ready for next week and be ready to go down to Miami and play them.
All right, and I know you also had some positive tests overnight, and I was wondering if you could take us through that situation and whether there was a time maybe you thought this thing was all unraveling on you.
Well, I mean, when they talk to you early in the morning like that, I mean, it's you're not sure what's real and not real. I knew they had been having some problems with the computer system from last night, but we also, we thought we were clean with all that, and then it came back this morning where we weren't clean. So I figured maybe there was a glitch there, and they were great with us. I mean, they said, let's just give us an hour or so, and let's just work through this thing and see if we can't get it right, and it all came back, where we were okay.
Let's go next to Sam Mellinger. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey, Andy. A lot of fans expected this to be a blowout, right? But I know you like to see how you guys respond in these situations. You touched on this a little bit just in that answer to Adam, but what did you see on both sides of the ball in terms of just effort, competitiveness, and that kind of thing, when the game is close?
Yeah. So listen, frustration gets set in on those, coaches and players. And I didn't sense that as we went. They just wanted to get it right. And they knew we were close on so many different occasions. So everybody just kind of bared down and went to it and reached a little deeper. And instead of complaining, they just reached a little deeper and tried to find an answer. And so you do that with this crew, normally it's going to work for you. And I thought it was just a matter of time before we got ourselves in the end zone. I didn't do a very good job in the red zone, giving the guys opportunities to get themselves in. And so I'll go back. I'll work on that part, and we'll make sure that we put these guys in a good position to make some plays down in there, whether it's a run game or the pass game.
Let's go next to Pete Sweeney. Go ahead, Pete.
Coach, congrats on the win and game plan tonight. Travis Kelce became the first tight end to have 5 straight years of 1,000 yards. I know you're not a huge numbers guy, but no other tight end has ever had 3. What have you seen from him to enable him to be consistent, especially at the ages of 29, 30, and now 31?
Yeah, well, there have been a couple of great tight ends that have played this game. We're talking about all time. So I mean, that's quite an accomplishment. And listen, nobody enjoys the game or works harder than Kelce does. So it's great to see this happen to him. And he loves playing. He loves playing the game. So, and those kind of guys you love to coach, and we're blessed to have a few of those that love the game. So, but I'm proud of Kelce for the time and effort that he puts in. He and the quarterback have a great relationship, and that's important to get these type of things done. And every quarterback needs a go-to guy, and our quarterback's fortunate to have a couple guys around him, but 87's a big one there for him.
Let's go next to Sam McDowell. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey, Andy. I know you'll probably want to see the film to be able to give a more complete answer on this, but the Broncos were more successful against you guys than most teams on those third down situations, and also you mentioned the red zone as well. Were you seeing – is it just the way they mix stuff, or were you seeing similar stuff to what you saw in that first matchup against them?
Yeah, listen, it was similar. I mean, those son of a guns got us in the first one, and we didn't do all that great the second one. So the thing you got to do is you got to narrow down the third down shots there. So get the distance cut down and do a little better on first, second down. So that's where we've got to improve that. And then against them with the pass rush that they have, that's where you got to be.
We'll go last to Blair.
Let me just add one thing, because I thought Sammy and McColl did a nice job along with Tyreek, and D-Rob also contributed, which I think is important to mention. Sammy, was battling that hamstring, and he started to come back from that, and he had a couple big catches for us down the stretch. Anyways, go ahead.
Go last to Blair Kirkhoff. Go ahead, Blair.
Yeah, Andy, one of those big catches was on the final series for your offense, and this is 2 weeks in a row you've played against really good defenses, and you've had to basically try to run out the clock at the end. Can you speak to this team's ability to do that, and that crazy catch throw that Mahomes had to make to Sammy?
Yeah, well, it was great. I mean, he did a nice job. Pat had some nice throws down the stretch, which he's had. He's a great player, and he almost made one that last one. We didn't get the edge sealed enough for him, and he was still able to get it off and get the ball out. So you guys are watching it just like I'm watching it. It's he does some amazing things. So, and most of all, just battling through. It's very easy to get frustrated, and he battles through, and good things happen to him. And it was good. It was great to see our D line get the quarterback's feet moving too on the other side. That all those things, all the good things don't happen without those big guys. Both sides of the ball.